I'm talking to Drew, and we just want to have kind of a loose conversation with about the positive and negatives of the stay at home and the whole pandemic that we're in right now. But welcome, Drew. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, Jason. Glad to be back. I know we've had a little bit of hiatus over the last couple of weeks, but yeah, glad to be back talking with you about the positive and negatives of the coronavirus and everything that's been going on.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So, my first question for you is let's dive into the positives, get this conversation started off on the right note today.
Yeah.
What kind of positives have you seen kind of in your personal as well as business life come out of the coronavirus as of date or as up to today?
Yeah. No, I think, God, and the silver lining, I mean, there's been a lot of positives that have come out of this. I mean, on the personal side, just we've been able to spend more time with our kids and just watch them do some things like schoolwork and arts and crafts and stuff that we normally don't get to. In our neighborhood, everyone's out, just trying to get out of the house, walking and running, exercising. And I mean, we've met some neighbors that shoot 2-3 doors down that we hadn't met in the past. I mean, last couple of years, and had deeper conversations with others that we have, just high and by, whatever. So it's good, just make those connections. And then, I think as far as business, gosh, Jana and I have been talking about, hey, we need to work from home, a day or two a week or whatever, just to kind of cut out the distractions. And of course, we got the kids at home right now, but it just kind of forced us to do that. And, you kind of figure out, which I've talked to a lot of business owners that have figured out, like, how to be more efficient. Everyone kind of was forced to figure it out. It's kind of like fake it till you make it. There's no rules, no nothing. So you just had to kind of go, and as you keep going, figure out. So I would love to hear from anybody else on Facebook, like, hey, what are your positives? And, what did you come out of this with? A new skill or, something different?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely as far as positives, I know on my end, I mean, being the used to going into the office type guy and then with everything changing and working from home every single day, you got to find new things to keep the mentality fresh and uh, be sort of more innovative and open-minded a little bit, so to speak, of just everything with going on to mix up the routine so that way it doesn't feel like you're home 24/7 like majority of us have been. So,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
definitely lots of positives to kind of take away from everything, along with everything you had mentioned as well. So, but let's take a little bit of a dive, Jason, into kind of the negative side. What have you seen kind of most notably in the local Kansas City area? Obviously, majority of us know what's going on nationally with major job losses across the country, as well as the economy not doing as well. Stock market been very up and down. So, what have
Yeah.
you kind of seen as far as negatives in that local Kansas City area?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, like you said, the biggest negatives were the job losses and some of the economic impacts it's had. Stock market. I mean, people have lost money there, but I think hopefully, given time, all that will somehow level out. But just like Jana had a birthday the 1st of March, and we had Easter, couldn't get together on that with family, and so there was some of the negatives. I mean, thankfully, we kind of organized a car parade for Jana. So like 15, 20 cars come by, family and friends honking, and so it was cool to kind of see that. And I've never seen her giggle, so much, when that happened. But it's kind of turned one of those negatives into a positive because it definitely turned her day around. But like, I mean, the kids miss their friends at school. I mean, they say they don't, but I know they do, and everyone's getting cabin fever. Just kind of, the funny thing is, I went to Walmart last week. Landon wanted to get some more fishing lures. They were completely sold out of fishing rods. They probably stocked 300 of those things. So, I mean, obviously now we're going to have a deficit of fish in the ponds because everyone's fishing right now. But no, just, yeah, I mean, just kind of a change of life and kind of slow down. Not everyone's ready for that. But, again, there's been a lot of adjustments have to be made. I'd like to hear it as well. People who have, the negative side of it, and maybe how you turn that around into a positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely the sound of no fish in the pond, that sounds like tragedy to me. Especially during this time. I mean, a lot of people must be enjoying getting out there going
Oh
fishing.
man.
So,
Yeah.
great way to be social distancing as well too while we're
Yeah.
talking about it. But yeah, I would say overall, it definitely wraps up a good portion of the positives and negatives. And yeah, obviously we want to hear from you people as far as what what's been your positives and negatives of everything. But last question I have for you, Jason, is what has what have you come away with from all of this? Like, what are your new appreciations, stuff that maybe you potentially took for granted before all this started happening? Things like that that you'd like to share with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you, when I was talking to Jana about this morning, that she goes, "Yeah, our garage is clean now." I mean, you be able to kind of step back and say, "All right, what projects have I put off?" And swept under the rug, and so some of those are getting tackled. And I think just kind of slowing down and stepping back and thinking a little deeper about things, and maybe appreciating your friends and your family a little bit more, because you don't see them as much. And thankfully for Zoom, people are doing Zoom calls with their family. And so I think just kind of stepping back, slowing down, and appreciating things a little bit more. And then just taking care of things now instead of putting them off, to down the road, because who knows what's going to happen down the road. So that's my take on it, man. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely for me, I know I've definitely reconnected with a lot of friends that I kind of lost touch with. So that's been definitely a positive for me. And something that it's just like it seems like I'm so busy that you kind of put it off. It's like, oh yeah, I'll touch base with that person next week or next
Yeah.
month, whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's gets away from you very quickly. So yeah, definitely the appreciation of relationships has been a big one for me during this time, and as well, that's mostly the biggest one I got. So
Cool.
because obviously I don't have a family or anything as of yet, so we don't have the time with kids and the wife yet because there is nobody there to fill that spot for me as of yet either. But yeah, overall, I'd say it's definitely been a challenging time and an interesting one at that. So
Yeah.
that wraps up all my questions for you today, Jason. A little short, interesting one for us today as far as questions and things like
Yeah.
that. So.
Yeah. It's good. Keep it simple, right?
Hey, absolutely. But as always, I appreciate you having me on, and it's always a blast to get to talk to you and get going on things. All right.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
All right. We'll see you, Jason.
Have a good weekend.